Yo, what's going on YouTube? And welcome back to Goal Line Hockey. It's your boy, Kevin Forte. And we're taking a look today at the latest on the Anaheim Ducks general manager search. There's a couple of big names kind of popping up in Anaheim, so we'll be going over that today. So this is from Pierre LeBrun, Big Hockey Insider. Hearing that the Ducks began GM interviews last week with in-house candidates Jeff Solomon, Dave Nonas, and Martin Madden. External candidates could be interviewed also. Also here, Anaheim has not reached out to, at this point, on Tampa Bay's assistant general manager, Matthew Darche. So, from what we've been hearing, those are the bigger names. And what's interesting from those three guys is they're all in-house names, but you're probably going to assume at least one, maybe two of these guys will leave the organization if they don't get that GM tag. So the first candidate is Jeff Solomon. He is currently the Anaheim Ducks assistant general manager. Before his time with the Anaheim Ducks, he was with the LA Kings for a very, very long time, at least. I think it was like a decade or 12 years. So he's been around the league. And, funny enough, he was with the rival LA Kings. And he has been with the organization, I think, with the Ducks now, I think 2-3 years. So he has that little bit of experience in the Ducks side of the organization. This name is interesting, too. Martin Madden. So Martin Madden has been with the Ducks for 14 seasons. He spent a dozen of those years, 12 seasons, as the director of amateur scouting for the Anaheim Ducks. And really in the past 2 years, he got his promotion as he is now one of the VPs, one of the assistant general managers, alongside with Jeff Solomon. They're pretty similar roles. And this is the really interesting one because this is throwing it back. You've probably heard his name before. Dave Nonas. And Dave Nonas really kind of got his kick in the manager side of things in 1998 when he became the Vancouver Canucks advisor and GM. And he was there for 10 seasons. He was there from 1998 up until his firing in 2008. From there, he went to Toronto. He was the general manager of the Toronto Maple Leafs for a very long time. And now he's been with the Anaheim Ducks for 7 years as an assistant GM and a consultant, and that is ever since he left the Maple Leafs in the mid-2010s. So Dave Nonas has been around, and I think that is in terms of if the Ducks are looking for most experience and a guy that just knows his way around the league, if the direction is, maybe go with a guy that has shown it in the past but necessarily hasn't had success and is looking to do that, Nonas could be that guy. The only problem is he's struggled in his two prior spots where he's been the GM. The Canucks really went through an entire rebuild under Dave Nonas. And also with the Leafs, very similar. That's when they brought in Nylander, Matthews, Marner, because of the team that he had built prior to that kind of not working. So Dave Nonas, again, he's got the experience. He's been around the league. The problem is the success hasn't been there. It's kind of, what have you done for me here? And in your times that you've been in that spot, I don't know if the Ducks will go in that direction. To be completely honest, I think they're going to go with Jeff Solomon. I think Jeff Solomon, he's already been the assistant GM for a couple years. He's been with the LA Kings organization for a while. Honestly, I'd take Solomon or Martin Madden as my two finalists over Dave Nonas. And it's no slight against Dave Nonas. I think he's a great consultant, a great assistant GM. When he comes to the big boy pants as the head guy of the management team, I just don't know if Nonas is there. So that's my take on it in terms of his philosophy, in terms of the old game. If the Ducks are looking to go with the old style, the Getzlaffs, the Perrys, the Biexas, if they want those guys, Dave Nonas is perfect for that. But if they're going in the direction that we're seeing them go, especially with Dallas Eakins as the head coach, you're going to look at Martin Madden or Jeff Solomon in terms of a philosophy fit for what the Ducks are trying to do. So that is it for today's video, guys. I also, real quick, don't go yet. So this is from Pierre LeBrun. This is an update on the Ducks other than general manager stuff. This is headlines on the Ducks going into the free agent situation and the trade deadline. So this is from Pierre LeBrun. Anaheim has 3 key pending UFAs in Rickard Rakell, Hampus Lindholm, and Josh Manson. And this is, in quote, what I'm told essentially is the Ducks are going to wait and see where they are in the standings closer to the deadline before deciding how to proceed as far as the trade possibilities go. I think ideally for the Ducks, they'd like to re-sign all 3 of these guys long term, but only if they're in a playoff spot. And I think it's one of those things where the Ducks are taking a bit of a risk. I think the Ducks have actually done very well this year. The only problem I have is, did they overachieve this year, and will they fall back next year? So that is kind of where we're at with the Ducks. I think they're in a dangerous spot here where they could get they could do well this year and kind of be a victim of their success, losing Lindholm, losing Manson, losing Rakell, guys that they could have gotten, really, they could have gotten 3 first-round picks from each of those guys easily, right? And all 3 of those guys together, and then yet you lose them for nothing over the summer. That would really be a loss for the Anaheim Ducks organization. So we'll see what happens. Like I said, I think the Ducks, it's hard, again, when you don't have a general manager right now, it's hard to make those kinds of decisions when you don't have your next guy in there. And this is kind of weird. We saw a season here where the Penguins didn't have an official general manager. It was Scott Alvin on an interim basis. He just went with Vancouver. So you had Pittsburgh, Montreal, Vancouver, and Anaheim. All 4 of those teams without a general manager in the spot throughout the season. It's kind of a weird position to put yourself in. So we'll see what happens. Patrick Alvin, gone. He goes up to Vancouver. Kent Hughes goes to Montreal. Now we're going to have to start to see where the trickling effect is here with the Ducks. I don't think they will necessarily look at those guys, but again, Matthew Darsh is an outside guy. If I had to pick right now, I'm going probably with Jeff Solomon as the Ducks' new general manager. So guys, thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you again next time.